on a new level. You know I'm on a new level. Pull up in foreigns, you know that I'm scoring, I'm on a new level.
Welcome back to Kings at the Table podcast, where if you're a king, you belong at the table. Man, I can't wait for this season to kick off. And matter of fact, Season 3 is officially here, Juan. How you feeling? How you been? And how was the offseason?
Oh, man, had to do a lot of recuperating, but, excited once again to be here at Kings at the Table podcast. Thank you guys all for being so patient for us to come back. We had to take our little vacation. Everybody had a good time off. How was your good time off?
It was good, man. I feel like, tuning into that whole fatherhood and trying to get my son prepared for school. He just started school, TK.
Hey.
So it's a little proud moment to see them grow and all. But overall, one thing is I'm trying to start getting back on my health.
There you go.
I fell off this last week, but I want to get back to maybe cutting back and just locking in.
There you go. You gotta be season ready. You know what I mean?
Season ready.
There we go. But speaking of the season, baby, we are officially back up and running. We had our nice little Thursday, little Friday, and then a fun-filled Sunday.
Yeah, but there was a Thursday game.
That Thursday, man. First night, no Parsons. Without the Parsons, I mean, the Eagles handled business.
Yeah.
Score was, 24-20?
Eagles won 24-20 against the Cowboys in Philadelphia. Juan, what was your biggest take? Obviously, don't spit on me or anything, but just tell me what your biggest take was.
Well, don't spit on me first, and then, I got to get caught.
Oh, that's right.
You're going to turn one camera off, and then the other one will leave it on. So
second person gets caught?
Every single time.
Oh.
Highlight that part. Guessing into this game, no Parsons for the Cowboys, new season starting. A lot of things moving, a lot of moving parts for all these two teams. A lot. They lost. The Eagles lost some to players, also with the Cowboys. But going into this game, I thought the Eagles were gonna put fucking belt to ass. You know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be a legit routing, but Cowboys held their own. They stayed in the game. A lot of question marks now looking at the Eagles, considering the fact that we kind of thought this was going to be almost the same juggernaut team that we saw last year. I
will say, Juan, was there an effect of Carter not being there?
Absolutely. It almost leveled the playing field, if you will. I mean, and from my perspective, that's what it looked like. What about for you?
No, I agree. And that's kind of what I'm saying was that whole interaction before the game or, that spit or, it's crazy how obviously it's not the right thing to do. You shouldn't do that. But you review that stuff.
Yeah.
And now the clips are coming out that Dak spit first. How is it that only one guy got kicked out the game?
Remember, like you just said it earlier, it's always the second guy that gets caught.
But even if you're reviewing, though?
I mean, are we going to start reviewing everything? He said this. And run the tape. You can't, you know what I mean?
Can't? You're kicking out a guy like Carter.
Absolutely.
Which we just both said that leveled the playing field.
Absolutely.
Why the fuck you kicking it? Why are you kicking him out and not Dak Prescott?
Well, again, because I don't know. You can't review. You can, but you can't. You're slowing the game way too much down if we're starting to do that stuff.
Okay. Well, slowing the game down is what the Eagles did. They carried the ball a ton. It was all Barkley. Even Hurts had 15
Hurts had
carries.
Nice little runs.
Are they going back to the old school, ground and pound? Because A.J. Brown, what?
Absolute. He
gone?
Wasn't even there.
I don't even know if he had a reception.
It was more of – I think he's still dealing with
zero.
his injury. He's if I'm not mistaken, I think it might be a hamstring. So that or his ankle, one of those two. I can't remember exactly. But definitely took him out of the game. But they really didn't need him. He was just a decoy at that point. Just, hey, AJ, run deep. Well, we're going to act like we're going to throw it to you. And then that's how Jalen Hurts got all open. The thing that the Cowboys messed up is they should have put a spy out there. Jalen Hurts is mobile. He won't go unless he has to. And obviously he proved that because he didn't have to go a bunch of those times. But when that pressure came, he took off, and it obviously came back and bit the Cowboys in the ass.
Now, how about the Cowboys, though? Because they didn't look bad. Obviously, we spoke on how Carter wasn't there. But at the same time, they picked up Javonte Williams in the offseason. I picked up him in fantasy because I knew the talent he has. He's just been dealing with injuries. He came from the Broncos, and that's where the Cowboys messed up, in my opinion, is they got away from that. He had 2 rushing touchdowns.
They started using him early a lot.
Right, but got away from it a bit. So it's like I think the Cowboys need to stick to that ground and pound, do a little play actions. You don't need to get all fancy with the whole big plays. I think the Cowboys could be all right this season if they just stick to that balance.
I think the thing that goes away from that is because you got these two, you got these two really good receivers, in George Pickens and in
CD.
CD Lamb, and then also you have Turpin, who was getting some good receptions. So they have the weapons to move that ball around whichever way they want. They might, in somewhat of a term, might have a really good offensive balance there. Because, I mean, you got major production from CD, but also he kind of folded at the end with those drops. That's
something to mention.
That was, I mean, come on now. If he made one of those 4 catches, we would have been we might be talking a whole different story right now. We might be talking about, the Cowboys, this, and that. You know,
he owned it.
That's hats off to that part because he owns it. But I mean, we're talking the best saying, the game of inches right there, bro. Just one catch would have changed the whole thing.
Oh. You know what sucks about that is that that's not CD like those drops, and we always gotta mention him with the top 3 receivers in the league, and he had over 13 targets. Come on, he was getting open. He had those drops like you said, but best believe he will be moving forward and better. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
This won't happen again. I don't think so.
Well, let's just say we hope
Drops.
it doesn't happen again.
I'm just asking. Can you see another game with these drops?
If we come back and we're talking about how CD Lamb drops a couple passes on another game, that contract is gonna come into question because we could be. That's the difference between talking about 1-0 and 0-1.
Oh, for sure.
And then I mean, let's just say these
home
field advantage,
Super Bowl,
everything. You know what I mean? That it all could always come back to one play. And, I mean, there was another game that kind of went down to one play, and, we'll see how, we'll get into that here in a little bit. But, I mean, even though Cowboys still put up a good game, they can't even take that one away from them. But, I mean, the Jalen Carter thing was a big deciding helping factor, if you will.
Right. Well, let's go into another game. It was Friday, which was kind of odd, but the Chiefs and Chargers. Chargers ended up winning 27-21 in Brazil. I thought Herbert had himself a pretty damn good game.
His numbers were nice. They're good. That's very like positive Herbert kind of look. You know what I mean? This is kind of like what we expect to see out of Herbert. All the praise that everybody gives him and everything like that. This is the style and his type of football number wise, because I think everybody's anticipating for him to be this is going to be the norm from him, and this is what we should be expecting from him. A lot of things changed. He got a lot of help this offseason. He's got his old boy Keenan Allen back.
Yeah, I think that's huge.
So that's at that level of comfort. But, again, what about the Chiefs? Is this the beginning of the official downfall?
It's early.
But, we saw the high impact of not having Rice, a solid wide receiver, and then you get a blown tire out on Worthy. I'm sorry, not James Worthy.
Xavier.
But Xavier Worthy. And then now you're out your 2 top receivers. What are they really going to do right about now? Because that's a big thing.
Yeah, for sure it's big. But let me get back to the Chargers. I just like the way that Harbaugh's putting the stamp. He had one season with them. Now he's like, okay. He seems to always have the quarterback in control.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
He like a really good support system.
Right.
Yeah.
And Herbert not just had 3 touchdowns, but he balanced out who he threw it to. He didn't just target McConkey or Allen or, the new running back rookie Hampton. They look really good offensively, but even defensively. I understand the Chiefs had a couple injuries on the receivers, but, I just like the balance of the Chargers right now. And again, kind of what you just said and echoing that, Herbert, it seems like he always gets a pass of how he plays.
Yep. And
we expect this type of play, how he looked. But are we going to get this throughout the whole season?
That's a question mark right now. It's a baby season, man. We got to wait and see. But, hey, a lot of guys came out and showed out pretty good. You know what I mean?
For sure.
What about that slap, though? I don't know if you remember that. There was 2 big slaps in those 2 first games. You had the one where the guy on the Cowboys, he just rocked homeboy on that one edge rusher. I'm feel horrible because I can't remember these names. But he ended up, there was a play, he's coming in, and then 5 seconds later, just bam. And then Travis Kelce got smacked up too by the Chargers players too. So, it's okay because they said it was an open hand. It wasn't a fist. So
okay.
It's okay to slap somebody.
Oh, I did see that. Matter of fact, yeah you're right. Let's get into this other game, though, as far as the Colts whooping the Dolphins 33-8. Juan, what are your thoughts overall in this game?
This is, I think, Dolphins are done now, man. It's been a slowing factor. Like 2 years ago, remember, they played against the Chiefs, and they had that high explosive offense, this, and that. And then They lost that one. Then they took a big step back the next season. Last season, they didn't even look that great. And then now you're already starting off like this. You only put up 8 points in the fourth quarter only. I mean, you got Daniel Jones out there looking like the real deal Holyfield out there, man.
Colts,
yeah, and that guy had what, three total touchdowns,
2 on the ground,
and then he still threw up a what was that? He had a 115 passer rating.
Yeah,
I mean, he had himself a game. He looked legit.
Yeah, I was saying he's almost going to be like the new Sam Darnold of last season. He kind of found a home.
There you go.
We kind of mentioned that.
Yep.
But yeah, the Dolphins. I mean, Tua had 2 picks, only 114 yards. You have Tyreek, you have Waddle, you have HN. I'm not quite understanding. I think that head coach Daniels.
Yeah.
McDaniels, right?
I think so. Can't remember.
Coordinator. Now he's head coach. Well, he's kind of lost the locker room now, and I feel like
starting to look that way a little bit.
I feel like the defense is even lost. I mean, you saw Bradley Chubb, ex-Bronco. I don't know if you saw that play. It was kind of ridiculous. The running back is running through the hole. Chubb is chasing him. Running back gets behind the lineman. Chubb literally dives and tackles the lineman, bro, as if he was the running back. I got to show you that clip. But literally, thought he had the ball, tackles the lineman, takes him down, and the running back just takes off. I'm like, at what point do you get to that? Are you just frustrated?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That I didn't see that highlight. That just sounds bizarre to hear.
Yeah,
that's almost like some Mark Sanchez butt fumble stuff. I mean, there was a butt fumble earlier in the games, but I mean, God, it almost seems like the Dolphins can't ever get it right, even when they have it going right, and it all falls back down every single time. They can't get over their own self hump, if you will.
They're saying they're a soft team.
They might be.
It's been for years now. They don't have that dog, who's the leader there? Literally, who is the leader for the Dolphins?
I don't even think they have one. You can't say Tua's your leader because you don't even know if he's going to be playing, throughout the whole season, And then obviously, I mean, you have, ex-defensive, captain out there with them and Mika Fitzpatrick, but I think there's too many holes in that team right now to even say anything. But shout out to the Sacramento native. Got his first Latu. He got your first pick. Hey, good stuff, bro. Rep it out.
Yeah, that was good to see when he got that pick. Huge move. Again, Sacramento native, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's go into another local team, though, is the Raiders going.
The Raiders.
Raiders take them down 20-13. The Patriots end up losing at home. Geno had himself a game. 362. I've been on record saying I'm not a real big fan of Geno Smith. And this game, he looked good. I had to give it to him. The Raiders look good overall, even defensively. I mean, you hold them to 13 points. Drake got himself new weapons, and it didn't look like he didn't have any weapons.
Yeah.
New coach with the Patriots. I don't know if it's going to take a while for them to gel and get this new identity, but I would say overall in that game, the Raiders look good.
How do you feel Genty did for his debut out there?
I think he did decent. I think he could have done a little better. Obviously, you got that touchdown, but he didn't look like he was a top-tier running back. I mean,
again, it's early.
But
I mean,
I'm not knocking him.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're judging this one game.
Yeah, of course.
He had maybe he averaged 2 yards per carry or something like that. I expect more of an explosive run, which it'll come throughout the season. But if I'm judging this game, he didn't look no top 10 running back.
Nice.
And that's.
I mean, it does say something.
One game.
It's one game. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on how they being in your division? How do you feel the Raiders look as far as you kind of looking ahead at them? As far as their ceiling. Again, we're judging early. It's one game, but where do you see their ceiling kind of going? Your division's going to be the most interesting division, I think, this year, maybe.
Oh, hands down.
So,
hands down.
You look in, from your Broncos perspective, looking at the Raiders right now, how do you kind of see them looking so far? I
would say, Juan, I'm going to say this on record. This is the first time I feel like the Raiders have a direction.
Nice.
And that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that goes to Pete Carroll. I know he goes there and the first time I hear him going there, I'm like, why, bro? Just retire. You already got your resume, but he's going because he believes he can change that team like that. And it's just 1 week, and he changed that team like that. And it's not even the fact that the talent they have on the field, but it felt watching that game that the Raiders controlled the whole thing, and they were comfortable. They didn't rush. They knew even if we got 2 yards, this is the game plan. We got to trust this guy, Pete Carroll. You're talking about a 7-year-old vet, has won a Super Bowl. This guy knows what he's talking about. They haven't had that in years, bro. So the Raiders, that's a team to watch out for.
So it's more of they bought into the system with Pete Carroll. Like he's kind of bringing that when he first got to Seattle and how he rallied everybody in and locked everybody in, kind of like one mission, one day at a time type of thing.
For sure. And it's more of how soon he's doing it. Again, it's only week 1, not to overreact. Don't get big-headed over this win. That's one thing the Raiders can't do. I know they had that celebration, and that's something the Raiders do on wins in the locker room. If that's their identity, fine. But don't get too big-headed to where you lose 3 in a row, and then you're like, oh, I hate this team. Nah, just ride it out.
Yep.
It's a win.
It's absolutely a good, and it was a good win for them. You know,
Right.
I was happy to see them win that game too.
It was good. So, Juan, let's get into your Steelers winning against the Jets, 34-32.
It was the trade Super Bowl quarterback section right there. You know, we had Justin Fields last year. They had Aaron Rodgers last year. You know, looking at this game, I was like, I don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Like, it's Aaron Rodgers. My thoughts on our offensive line. You know, our offense, our defense. You know, ex-players or these players. I didn't know what to really expect, and it kind of gelled pretty good. I was kind of a little bit more let down at the fact that I don't think our defense looked like the way it's supposed to look on paper, you know, considering the fact of all the guys we got. But, you know, one thing I do want to mention is watching that game and Justin Fields, like, he looked good. I'm not going to take nothing away from that kid on that game. Justin Fields, bro, you did that. I mean, yeah, you came up short, but still, phenomenal game, great numbers. You played your ass off. Even the Jets defense did solid too. You know what I mean? But, you know, giving back to Aaron Rodgers, he looked great. Bro, I mean, like, I did not see four touchdowns
against the Jets.
Against the Jets. Not only that,
though, their defense is tough.
Yeah, you've been high on them for a couple seasons now, and the fact that he went in there and he threw for 4 touchdowns, that was not on my bingo card for week 1. I mean, I didn't know what to expect on this offense, but everything gelled good. The offense, I feel like it's kind of fixed now. Now we kind of got to dial it back, and let's go back to the defense part, and let's really balance this thing out going forward. But again, hats off to the Jets. Great game they played. Again, they were there the whole game.
When you mentioned the Steeler offense being fixed, what was it that was fixed?
It moves. That was the biggest thing. I think now this whole now we're under Arthur Smith for a second year. We got some guys that he liked. He's actually, it's the crazy thing is that he had Jonnu Smith damn near almost his whole career. So like that's like, I guess you could say if he had Derrick Henry, I mean, like we literally would have like his whole original offense. And it's showing because I mean, the way we were able to move the ball, running the ball, passing the ball, play actions, it was all working. Everything's been working fine. I think
so. Something just clicked in my head real quick because you just said Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So he had a Derrick Henry
when he was in Tennessee.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you were to get a top tier running back, are you guys?
I mean,
because you know the trade block, there's always something that ends up happening.
Oh yeah, something weird can happen, but you can't tell me that you can imagine the Ravens trading.
No. I
thought that's where you're going.
I'm saying that there will be a top tier running back available.
Somebody will be out there.
Once teams start finding out they're not going to make the playoffs, it's time to start getting some draft picks.
Yep.
So
I mean, if someone goes out there, I mean, can I see the Steelers pulling the trigger on the top running back? I guess it would depend on where we're at.
Where would you rather go, running back or receiver?
Obviously you've seen that we don't really need too much help on the receiving end. I mean, DK had a couple catches, and everything like that. So I would probably take rather another defensive player, to be honest.
Okay.
If we're gonna make
defensively,
yeah, I got now seeing what we did against the Jets. Again, it's not like the Jets were a walkthrough. You've been on their defense kind of high for a while, and they obviously have some kind of poise. I guess you could say like they have a slight identity there. So for us, if we get like another defensive player, I think we'd be a little bit more set.
Nice.
I think Darius Slay got kind of toasted out there couple times.
Yeah.
So
That's Garrett Wilson, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
high
and
energy right there.
And they got that chemistry from Ohio State.
Yeah,
right.
With Justin Fields.
Fields.
That was cool to see. You know, I think that's the level of comfort that he's got out there.
Can we say for the fantasy owners, that's something you might want to tune into?
Hey, yeah, definitely check that one out because, I mean, if Justin Fields did that to
Sleeper.
our defense, you know, who knows what he could do to another team. Maybe they just had the right offensive scheme that day. But, you know, we never know until we see it the next week going in.
Shout out to the head coach, too,
Absolutely.
though. You know, the Jets.
Yeah, rookie head coach.
And they did what they
got
had
him
to do.
from the Detroit, I believe so.
Right.
The defensive coordinator from there. So, I mean, he obviously brought some defensive love out there because it showed.
Again, you kind of said how they kind of showed of identity. It's obviously week one, but to dial in that fast week one and kind of show the progression from last year, hats off to the Jets.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
So
Let's
Juan,
get into the other one, bro. How about them Broncos? Scary, but I mean, hey, that defense though, still there.
for sure. I mean, it was 20 to 12. Denver won at home against the Tennessee Titans. They went against the rookie quarterback Cam Ward. I get he's a rookie. Bo Nix, he let me down.
So, I mean, he wasn't seeing the field that great, or what do you think? You think he was just more along the lines in his head, or what really happened with that offense? Because I mean, the defense did the job. That defense, man.
Oh yeah,
top three this year, finishing out. It's early to say top. You know,
they got to be one, bro. I'm not even because I'm a Bronco fan.
You guys have it.
That defense is, and Greenlaw wasn't even there. Greenlaw, bro.
And
he
imagine if he was there, it'd be a whole different story.
I can't wait till next week. But that's just defensively. I like, again, we're speaking on it, how great they are defensively. But back to Bo Nix, man. He was just in his head. It felt like a play would go wrong or like a misread with the receiver and him, and he would be quick to blame the receiver, which I get. Like, if the guy's not there, that is frustrating. But at the same time, it's too early.
Yeah.
But who am I to say it's too early? So that's going back to Bo Nix. He's trying to lead the team. And if he's frustrated with the guy not being there, right, like it would be a quick slant. And the guy would say, stop right there. He was doing this to the receiver, like, you're supposed to stop. And he's not stopping, and he's looking like he's doing a bad throw. You can't blame the quarterback, man. You feel me? There's a reason. Like, I didn't like how he went about it, but at the same time, he has high expectations. And he has a target on his back now. Let's not say that it's going to be a regular season. No. Broncos are supposed to contend.
Absolutely. This year's that like I said, the AFC West is going to be something.
Right. So if you're supposed to contend and have all this pressure, he wants to make sure every play looks right. Again, he didn't look well. I think they'll bounce back offensively.
Yeah, you guys got a big one coming up this week, I think.
And as far as the Titans, their receivers had a bad day, man. A lot of drops. Ridley had drops, third downs. We could have potentially lost that game if it wasn't for the defense, obviously, but yeah.
Young Cam Ward, week one, not everybody gets their win on their debut, but, he's always, there's always next week, like we say here.
And that was a tough defense.
Yeah, defense. I mean, for your first game, like, shit, damn.
Yeah.
Like you said, arguably, possibly number one defense.
Yep.
That's your first game. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But, hopefully, good luck to him going forward.
Yeah, so let's get into the Bengals and the Browns, man, because the Bengals won by 17-16. But, Juan, you've been mentioning about their offensive line.
That's going to – you saw it, man. They can't block that great, dude. That's – and if that happens throughout this season, dude, I don't know how long Joe Burrow's going to last you. Not even just like season-wise, but, dude, there were so many hits on that guy. And his rushing – he's got to rush to throw. He's got to do everything with no line. Shit, it's going to come back and hurt them eventually going in the long run.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, they signed Chase and Higgins, right? They get the win by 1 in the division. It's the Browns. I mean, you hear the name Browns and you think it's an easy win. It's not easy, especially not division. But, again, how we're talking about the offensive line, how is it that you just pay these top-tier receivers and don't stack up your line, bro? Like, what – I mean, put your GM hat on. How does this GM still have a job, bro?
I don't understand. For me, I mean, we could all pretty much agree. In the offense, your highest priority is to keep the quarterback safe.
Trenches.
Yes. You got to invest in your line. These teams win championships. These teams build these teams by building the line first.
Offense, defense.
Yes. That's where it all starts. After that, then you can worry about other things. You can get a receiver in the draft. You can find a gem in the draft. Come on now. Cooper Kupp, he was a gem. Antonio Brown, another gem. These guys, DeAndre Hopkins, he was a late draft picks. You know what I mean? You can find these guys.
You can find a gem in quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. But you need a line to protect them. If you can't, what's the point of having these high pricey wide receivers, tight ends, whatever, if you can't even get them the ball? What's the point? You know what I mean? At that point, you're only going to be able to really use your running back. I mean, it's like, hey, bro, I mean, they're not blocking for me, but here, good luck. You could try to get one here. You know what I mean? And it showed. It showed because, I mean, if you're a fantasy owner of Jamar Chase and Higgins,
That's
tell me
what
he
doing?
did.
Is that what we're doing?
I mean,
come on.
it's straight shots.
Yeah,
straight shots.
Straight shots, okay.
But
yeah, I have Higgins, and he didn't do
anything.
Yeah. Chase Brown did decent, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And it goes back to that. Like, you need to be able to give your quarterback, at least give him, what do the great quarterbacks need, like 3 seconds? At least give him 3 seconds. You don't even have 3 seconds.
No. And Juan, let's get back to the GM thing, though, because let's say the GM is right here, the Cincinnati Bengals.
What the fuck were you thinking, bro?
Right. You know, and it's like, why? Okay. You're talking about making a line, right, to protect your quarterback.
Yep.
You're telling me he doesn't know that?
It's not showing.
Right.
Again, it's. I think he's folding, as far as like when they're doing these contract negotiations. Like he's folding. Like,
you know what I'm wondering? My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Because the Bengals, have they won a Super Bowl?
No.
Okay. So when they had a chance to win the Super Bowl with Palmer.
No, it wasn't Palmer. Well, that year they had a hella good ass year.
Ochocinco.
Yeah, that they say that we hurt Palmer on purpose.
And then
that
you had
year.
the Dalton year.
The Dalton year, yeah.
Right. But it's always the offense.
But and then they had this recent one with Joe Burrow when they went to the Super Bowl against who was it?
Right, against the Rams.
Yes.
That's right. I completely forgot about that.
So I mean, but go back and look at that. They built an offense. Their defense wasn't known really. All those years, their defense wasn't really that known.
Okay, so is it more of a box office thing now? Are these like kind of like the Cowboys box office? Let's just sell tickets. How do you not build that offensive line? It's very frustrating to see that you got a great, potentially Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes.
Hall of Fame receiver, potentially.
Yes.
Those are two top Hall of Fame guys.
Possible Hall of Fame guys.
You know, if you hear a quarterback Hall of Famer, a receiver Hall of Famer, and you mention those teams that had those two, those are contenders every year.
Yep. I believe it.
I don't think the Bengals might not be a contender this year.
No, they want. Again, it's gonna come back to this whole. I know, but it's. Dude, I'm telling you, Joe Burrow is going to get killed out there if they're not going to protect him. You got to protect your quarterback. What's the point of having high price? It's like, yeah, check out this Lamborghini, check out my Ferrari, but I don't have no tires for him, though, or I ain't got no gas.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I ain't never put oil in the car or something like that. That's what they're doing. They're just paying these guys. Look at their contracts, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where, like, you're like, not. Why do you think Hendrickson probably wants to leave?
Oh, for sure.
You know, I was like, what are you guys doing? You guys aren't investing anywhere else.
Yeah.
You tell me somebody besides Hendrickson, anybody on that defense. Like, kind of think about it. I mean, you might be able to name somebody, but I'm just going to be like, I'm going in this one blind.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one I could think of.
Right. On top of my head, yeah. I mean, if I look up the depth chart, I'll be like,
this guy or this guy. But, like, right now,
Stars.
that's all you're thinking of. And if you look, I bet you if you look at, like, those pie charts, I'm like, all right, all our money is going right here. And it's just Burrow, Higgins, and Chase.
Yeah.
And then everybody else gets this little bit of money.
It's almost like they're a basketball team. They're creating a big three thinking they're going to win a championship.
That's cool because that big three doesn't play defense.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
That's wild.
That's enough for the damn Bengals. Let's get into another local, the Niners. They ended up winning.
49ers.
The 49ers won 17-13 against the Seahawks.
Hell yeah, it was a good local day here out in California. You know, a lot of Cali teams won this weekend, but yeah, you know what? That game was pretty good. I almost was like, actually, I want to just rewind this. If you've been a Kings at the Table fan or a member of our communities and our community, I said this a long time ago, and it's still aging perfectly fine. I always said this team is amazing, great team, but there's one thing that this team scares me of.
Oh yes, you're right.
That kicker.
You must be in some type of mood right now.
Because, I'm thinking to myself, if I was a Niner fan and oh, my God. Bro, that.
Talking about GM, how does he still have a job?
I mean, he's keeping him relevant.
The kicker.
Well, no, not the kicker. I'm talking about
the general manager. How is he not getting rid of the kicker?
Because that one will bite him in the ass. I think he took him in like the 3rd round. He was a wild, weird, higher pick. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I guarantee you can find way better kickers right now than him right now.
He was that high of a draft pick?
He wasn't like one of those like way at the end, like, oh yeah, we'll pick up this guy. He was kind of a higher up.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me. He might be a 3rd rounder or 4th rounder, something like that.
I mean, I'm just thinking right now as a fantasy player, getting the kicker early, everyone laughs, but this is real life.
Yeah, they hella did it. They hella auto picked.
Damn. So yeah, they ended up pulling off the win again. It's a huge win because you're going into Seattle. They didn't look too good, but they got the win. That's all that matters, right?
Hey, game of inches, right? We talk about one play can make the deciding factors.
Right. Purdy didn't have a good game. He had 2 interceptions, that game-winning drive to the end zone, and the tight end ended up taking it from the defender, almost like he was playing defense himself. It could have been 3 picks. It could have been ugly.
Yeah.
The house could have been falling right now.
Oh, yeah.
That was a pick in the end zone?
Oh, right now, I think the AFC West would have been shook a little bit. Or NFC West would be shook a little bit because, I mean, they also caught a break, too, when we had the butt fumble part 2 when Sam Darnold tried to load one back, and he ends up Bosa pushes the offensive lineman into him, and he fumbles it. But, I mean, what are we talking about here? That, again, the game, one play can change the whole thing. If he were to get that one off, imagine, boom, he would have had a touchdown or something. Time would have still been winding down to kick a field goal, whatever. It doesn't matter. So,
story.
Whole nother story. It's just like a drop.
Yeah. Well, let's go into a whole nother story as far as the Lions looking like a whole different type of story.
What up, Detroit?
Man, they went down 13-27 against Green Bay. They just didn't really show up. It looks like they almost lost their identity because they did lose 2 coordinators, offensive and defensive. I'm a little worried about the Lions, Juan.
I am too because, I mean, well, first off, it's week one. And you know what? The Packers, that house right there, Lambeau, was up.
Oh, yeah.
And you just seen it from the even from the beginning of the game when they were doing the pregame show. They were all at Lambeau, and you just felt the vibe. I was like watching the pregames. I was like, dude, I'm hyped out. Like I was ready to be out there too. And you know what I mean? But
facts.
And I think that boosted the Packers' morale. You know, of course, you know, first game of the year. You got your new fucking car right here with Michael Parsons ready to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys were ready. They were hungry. They're like, let's go out there and do it. And I'm going to tell you right now, that meme going around, we're talking about how Parsons looks like a cheetah chasing the gazelle. And that's to the T right there. That is to the T.
A lion. He calls himself a lion.
He was a lion out there, and he ate those lions up because I'm telling you right now, the Packers look nice. Yes. They look really good. And this and I mean, I know you're gonna say this one. I'm gonna let you go ahead and say it, but what could this game potentially mean to these two guys going forward towards the end of the season?
I mean, yeah, it's just you talking about home field advantage and whatnot. But again, I'm gonna get to what you were just saying about just how the whole vibe, the whole aura of the Green Bay Packers. I know every person listening to this knows one Green Bay Packer fan.
Absolutely.
Because of the history of the game. And so when you see this and the fan base and what the team they have, you respect it, man. You can't be like, oh, man, that team ain't going to do – nah, they're real.
Yeah.
They're coming. And we've been talking about it for the last couple of years with Jordan Love, and he's stepping up. He kind of looked like an MVP. It's week 1. But, man, it's not just defensively landing Parsons because a move like that is just huge.
That changes everything, bro.
Everything. And it's crazy how we're just talking about one guy going to the team, changing everything, but it's the type of player. You're talking about a superstar player, the leadership, everything. Everybody has to get behind it.
The knowledge, the ability to get you to buy into situations, to get you to buy into being out there like, you know, ready to go all game long, man. That defense, I was more excited watching their defense play than the offense, to be honest with you. The Green Bay defense, like I was just like, get out there. Let me see something.
I was too.
It was good to see.
Yeah, because you wanted to see how impactful he was. And again, he only played like 60% of the snaps. Come on, think about it. You know, and it was third downs basically. So if he comes in and playing like he regularly does, how much
impact he's gonna have?
Impact. Again, Lions though.
What's going on, man? Like they you know, they almost kind of look lost out there, to be honest.
Juan, I just took my son to the zoo in San Francisco, and I was very frustrated because there was no lion, and that's how I felt watching the game.
Damn.
There was no lion there.
Nobody was hungry, bro. They were hella full on cheese. They
Man.
hella kept feeding the lions cheese,
It
bro.
was like a pet cat, bro. It was just like meow.
Hella bubble salads out there, man.
Straight up, man. I don't know. It's week 1. We're not overreacting. We're reacting to this game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I enjoyed watching the Packers play. That game was good. Like, it was fun to watch, and I was cheering for the Packers the whole way through. Just like, I know I've been high on Detroit these last couple of years, bro, but I don't know. It's something about, I think I just bought into the vibe watching that pregame, dude. Like I've been saying, and for sure they rode that one out, and it was a great game. I enjoyed watching that one, but
hats off to the Packers.
We'll see what's going to happen with Detroit, because this can't be the trend, man.
No, hell
This
no.
can't be the trend.
Juan, let's get to the game of the week. Probably the game of a couple of years now. I mean, you go back to the Chiefs and Rams, but Ravens lose to the Bills 40-41 after being up 15 points with less than 4 minutes, and they lost the game.
Rich, can we say this is a replay of Raven football? When it comes into some high pinnacle moments,
You can. I saw
I
a stat.
mean, that's crazy, dude. They did it last year. Well, no, they
Nope.
came back last year. But
They got a track record, though, of losing with like 90% probability. I think they lost 8 games in the last one.
I think one of those went to us too, like sometime during the season.
90% chance of winning the game.
How do you do that? Like that's folding.
Oh, yeah.
Like how? Like okay. I don't even know how to put it into words, because like, if I think I mentioned it a little bit ago, like, if you can't stop the run, you're not going to beat them. They will beat you. I don't know
Who?
the Ravens. The Ravens put so many yards on the ground.
Right. They didn't stop the run.
That's what I'm saying, and they should be beating you, but I don't understand how that whole fold happens.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Because Lamar played a clean game. He didn't do no mistakes. I mean, the biggest thing I can, like, come right away was the fumble from Henry.
well, yeah, that's the play they're circling, right? And that's what changed the momentum, because
Absolutely.
it does change the momentum. But he had a hell of a game. You can't take it away from him. Obviously, that one play cost him the game. But it's almost like when you're watching a boxing fight, right? You have a fighter that you want to win. I have a fighter I want to win, which we do.
Yeah,
Coming up. We got that history, though. Josh Allen, Lamar.
Oh, it's the Josh and Lamar,
right?
Okay,
we
yeah.
got a little history.
Hey,
there.
man, I'm still winning, baby.
Yeah,
I got you in the last.
You got that one. So they went at it, right? But when they're showing the scorecards throughout every round,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I think Lamar had that one. And you're like, nah, Josh Allen got that round. And then it keeps building, right?
And then we're just sitting in
And to
suspense.
the end of the game, right? It's like you thought that dude dominated, but this whole time this guy was fighting pretty
when you
damn
see
well.
like the numbers throughout the whole, like when you get all your stats out, like, oh, this many punches were thrown, this ones were landed, and then you could really see where the numbers really land. But I mean,
Yeah, because the Bills hung out the whole fight,
they did.
right?
At one point, I was like,
It wasn't a knockout.
Oh no. Yeah, absolutely not. But I mean, if I were to tell you this was the final score, but if I were to tell you at one point the Ravens had a 15-point lead, you're like, what the fuck happened?
For 4 minutes.
What happened? That's where that would be the only thing you're thinking to yourself the whole time. That'd be like the worst left on red ever.
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, the final score was this, but these guys were winning by 15. You're like, I need to know more. Like, what happened? You watch the tape and you're like, I'm not seeing where it's like missing money. Like, you're like, all right, I got $200 right here. And then you're like, this. And then like, you're like, I got like $4 left.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the hell? And like, it doesn't make sense.
No, but
I'm still flabbergasted. I'm sorry. I think that's what it is for me.
no, I think we all are.
'Cause-
And we're trying to understand it. And I think the only way to really put it to or understand this is
Watch the tape.
Josh Allen put a cape on.
I mean, he did. And
I'm not saying he was Superman, but I would say he kind of looks like this guy right here,
he's like
you
a
know,
Thor. Yeah.
He was kind of looking like Thor out there. And
he-
he led them, man.
He did. And you know what? Like, it's got to, I think I'm just getting like more anxious as to when he's going to do it. Cause like we've been having our thing, Lamar versus Josh this whole time, and neither one of them have done it yet. And we're both anticipating it, and like every year, this is how it starts. It's always like, oh, this is it. He's gonna do it. Either one of these dudes, I'm just waiting. When are you gonna finish? I just want to get him. I want to see it.
One of them.
Yeah, one of them. Either
Obviously
one of them.
both. We want both to get.
That'd be cool.
I mean, being a fan of the Broncos, I don't want them, whatever. But respectfully for the players.
Yeah, to finish their stamp, if you will.
Yeah.
And shouts out to Coleman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody's been writing off like, whoa, who's Josh Allen going to throw it to? Who's going to throw it to? Man, Coleman put in work.
Oh, he did. And he was supposed to do that last year, but they got the chemistry now.
Yeah, now it's all there. So now it's kind of a little scary seeing the Bills going forward now that they can run the ball, and now they got somebody who's out there catching passes pretty legitly.
Juan, let me say this. What I saw last night goes back to what a lot of people say about, like, best quarterback to ever play the game. They say Super Bowls, they say most accurate. And for the longest, they were saying that dude's a bad man. And who's that?
Shit, you got me.
Aaron Rodgers. They were saying that he's the best to ever play the game. He didn't have the Super Bowls to show. Well, this is kind of like an Aaron Rodgers-esque. What Josh Allen did last night. That was like you show a kid your kid wants to be a quarterback, say go watch that game.
Yep.
Josh Allen, that was like that was one of the best quarterback games I've seen, and it's not necessarily because of the stats. He was just locked in, bro. And I haven't seen a quarterback style play like that in a long time. I'm not talking about Super Bowls. I'm talking about a style of play. Bro, he was Mamba mentality. He was locked in, bro. And I was like, bro, I gotta respect that shit.
That he like you said, he was locked in, bro, and it's like it almost seemed like nothing could phase him. He was like, all right, you go score? All right, cool, whatever. We're going to come out here. We're going to do whatever. He would go like a 3-and-out. He didn't care. He was ready to go very next thing, and that's the kind of mentality that you wish some of these quarterbacks would have behind them. But
what I'm saying, I haven't seen that yet from Josh Allen. And I'm seeing
it is
a
completely different. It's a different look. And they've been saying that during the offseason that he something might have snapped in him and he flipped the switch. But again, how many times has Josh done this to us, though? He's put up some really great games early on in the season.
That one was different for me.
Really?
That one was different for me. That one was, I can see them winning it.
It's because you finally getting past Lamar, bro.
No, Lamar was good. No, hell no. That was a hell of a game. There's nothing taken away from Lamar.
I know. That's what I said at the beginning. I was like, you can't. He played a clean game.
I'm saying.
And he ran the ball hella good. He made right reads. He looked good.
If I'm the Bills, every week at practice, we're practicing stopping the run.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to worry about.
It.
When it comes to the playoffs, that's all you got to worry about.
Because that's what everybody wants to do in the playoffs.
And against you, because they want to control the ball. They don't want to give it to Josh Allen. Every damn week, practice stopping the run. If I'm the Bills coach, that's what you guys need to do. If you're a Bills fan, you got contact to
let them know.
Tell them, stop the run.
We said, well, you guys want to win the Super Bowl, bro? Just stop the run.
Yep.
All practice long. 4 straight hours of stopping the run.
Up. That's it, bro. And they'll probably be there.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that pretty much recaps it, Juan. I know we have a Monday night tonight. We are recording Mondays now, so
Monday nights won't be in effect, and by the time this comes out, we might if we give you our takes on it, might not be on the day of, maybe day after. So this is pre-recorded. Pre-recorded, folks. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this is a weird one for me, Rich, because like I was telling you earlier, I only see this game going 2 ways. Either A, the Bears are going to beat the brakes off of the Vikings, or the Vikings are barely going to win because of that defense that I've been so highly praising on. That's the only way I see it going. And the reason why I say that is because J.J. McCartney's first game, we don't know what he's going to do here. Literally his first game. And I don't know, man. I think I'm going to lean with the Bears on this one. I as much as I give them, a bunch of stuff.
You're banking on.
If I'm putting as a money man, I would put my money on the Bears on this one. I would like to see the Vikings win, but I see the Bears winning. What about you, Rich? What you got? Looking at this game,
I like the take, man, because that's pretty damn valid. And being McCarthy's first game on a Monday night in division in Chicago, that shit ain't easy.
No,
that's
Soldier
a division
Field
game. Yeah, and what I want to see is what we saw with Green Bay. I want the Bears to have that moment with the new coordinator,
the new regime and everything.
Head coach. I want to see the crowd get behind it. I want to feel that whole, oh, shit, the Bears, that's a historic team too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Luck's not been on their side too much, but, I mean, still, it's a respectable franchise. If
right. And Caleb has no excuse to not perform this year.
Yeah.
You got all the weapons. You have a coach. I mean, there's nothing you can say. I mean, obviously injury. Let's not hope he doesn't get any of that. But with all that said, I'm going to say the Bears, man.
Hell yeah!
At home
We're gonna try to keep a scoreboard here with this going forward on the Monday night, since we're pre-recording them, and you guys will get to see you guys get to see the game just as much as we get to see it, and we'll figure out the tally at the end.
Right now, Thursday night next week. Let's get into that.
Banger!
That is the one. We spoke about how Green Bay looks. The Commanders are going into Green Bay.
Shout out to the Commanders for their dub against the Giants this week. You know, they put it out there. They look good. They kind of almost picked up where they left off last year. I think I'm going to roll with Green Bay again. I'm going to ride the Green Bay Packers again. They're at home again. So I think I'm running with the Packers, bro. What do you got?
Yeah, that's
but you know what? I won't be mad if the Commanders win.
Now this is obviously a potential NFC championship type game.
Hell yeah.
Jaden Daniels knows that. Jordan Love knows that. They all know it. But that home crowd and how we just spoke about the aura of them knowing this could be their year. Not that the Commanders, it can't be their year, but I'm going more on the home field. I think that's going to put a dent to them. So I got Packers, man.
Heck yeah. And then what about the other one? We getting a Super Bowl rematch real early. This can be a big wake-up for either one of these teams. We're talking, of course, the Eagles and the Chiefs. This game could be a very interesting one going forward because, let's say, Chiefs win. If the Chiefs lose, we're talking 0-2 in a division.
Yeah.
That again, we've been kind of. I'm gonna hype it up this year. The AFC West is gonna be that division, and you know if you're 0-2 and these teams are all kind of on the up, everybody's on the up here, and if your guys are on the down, it's gonna be a hard way out.
Yeah.
But going back to the Eagles, I mean they didn't look that great. Obviously, no Jalen Carter that game. But again, their secondary was the biggest question mark going into that game, and we saw how that affected it. But going into it, I'm gonna go ahead and root with the Eagles on this one. What about you, Rich? What you think? How you feeling this one out?
Yeah, I'm the same way you just described it, man. I think the Chiefs might be in trouble. You got some injuries and receivers. The last time you played the Eagles, it didn't look good. Eagles coming off a win, they're going on the road to Kansas City, so that helps out a bit.
Yep.
Home crowd makes a big difference. Mahomes seems to play better at home. I'm going to have to go Philadelphia, though. I mean, Carter's going to – and he got help now with –
he got a little extra
rusher.
week. They signed Smith, Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, so
from the Lions. So, I mean, that's help.
Right.
That's help
and Carter back?
He had a whole week off?
Good luck to Mahomes, man, because you've seen him in the Super Bowl, how pressure
he was running, and now they just got a little bit more help.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm telling you, them having our receivers, bro, that's going to be the tough part about it.
Right. So, yeah, I think we're both going – we agreed on the 3 teams.
Hell yeah.
So, I think that's the way to finish it off. Again, guys, make sure to let people know about us. Share these videos.
Like, comment, get involved with us. We'll talk back to you guys.
Juan, what do we always say on this show?
You're a king.
You belong at the table. Gone.